awesome guest tonight. But before we get into that, let me thank all of my sponsors of the show. First and foremost, we would like to thank Earl Hopkins at hopkins-design.com. This is the guy that is doing the documentary for the 2021 National Build Off. If you need any type of website design, you need any type of artwork, logos, anything like that, reach out to Earl. He's at hopkins-design.com. Next is Truler. I don't care if you're a painter, you're a seamstress, whatever you are, go to trulers.com and get their stuff. Their stuff is really awesome for laying out perfect, accurately straight mirror images, straight lines. These guys are truly awesome, which is in the name, trulers.com. Next is Level Up Audio Towers. If you need to be heard and you need to be heard clearly, check up with the Level Up Audio Towers. They're mobile DJs, they are mobile stereo systems, they are mobile dance clubs. You can put these things anywhere. They're 100% self-contained. Check them out on Facebook at Level Up Audio Towers. Also, would like to thank our good friends over at Urban Rides Magazine, the most badass magazine for motorcycles, hot rods, industry stuff, whatever you want, they've got it in that magazine. Reach out to Daniel Roby over at Urban Rides Magazine. You can reach him on Facebook or urbanridesmagazine.com. You need something polished, something in chrome, go to J&D Custom Polishing and Plating, Mr. Gary Dubow. If it is shiny, he does it. If it's not shiny, he'll make it shiny. Reach out to Mr. Gary Dubow at J&D Custom Plating and Polishing. Next is Squealing Pigs Audio, Mr. Lonnie Rebels, right here in Baytown, Texas. The guy can build some insanely awesome bikes. Plus, he does from stock all the way up to competition heavyweight, awesome stereo systems in all of your baggers, motorcycles, cars. He does it all. The guy is truly amazing. Reach out to Lonnie Rebels on Facebook or Squealing Pigs Audio on Facebook and let him know when you need it. Our last, but definitely not least, sponsor is American Drag Seats, home of the integrated sissy bars and the air ride system. You need it stitched, we can do it. You need it built, we can do it. We also do leather tooling, inlays, any type of custom metal fabrication, full bike builds, we do it all. Reach out to them, americandragseats.com, American Drag Seats /Attitude Inc. on Facebook. Now, without further ado, I would like to bring on the first of the two we are interviewing tonight. Everybody, please say hello to Mrs. Jamie, the wife of Warren Vesley at Scooter Shooters.
Hey, everybody. Hey, Kevin. So
How
great
you
to see
doing?
you doing us.
Well, so I'm really digging the hair and the off the shoulder, totally
Yeah,
80s for me, and I dig the 80s.
okay.
You look great tonight.
Thanks.
So
It's like Tanya Katane meets Garth's girlfriend, Cassandra from Wayne's World.
awesome, awesome. You look great.
Thank
Now
you.
let's bring in my wife, Stacy Sockwell, the wife of me.
Representing. Oh wait, this side. Ooh,
Yeah,
ooh.
she did it too. Right hand to me, left. It's all backwards for some reason. So anyway, we're moving on up. Everybody's in here. I want to say hi to Bruno, Nancy, Alex, Patrick, Gary, Jeremy, Blomart, Nancy, Dan Zubian, Brian Barber, Lori, Nancy. Oh, 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 Janice is in the house. We got to get her on here soon. Earl is watching, Michelle Rowe. Oh man, we got a lot of people watching tonight. So anyway, so that's good. So for all that don't know, this is my wife, and this is Warren Vesley's wife. So I would personally, the biggest thing that a lot of people want to know is how is it being married to a motorcycle person?
Builder.
Builder. I'm not a builder. I do seats. I do all that stuff. So,
Uh-huh.
how is it? Do you like it? Is it cool to be married to a motorcycle guy?
Stacy, you want to field this one first?
I'm very proud of you when we go to rallies and he's Mr. Popular and everybody's like, Kevin, Kevin. So it makes me feel very proud and glad that he's does what he does so well and he enjoys it. And all the time in the garage pays off. So that makes me feel good. I'm glad he gets the recognition that he deserves and that other people see the quality that I see. So it's good.
Not you.
Yeah. It's interesting. It's a lot of fun. I really love to watch Lauren in his element. He lives it, he breathes it, he loves it, and for me to see that, it's just the greatest. Kind of like what Stacy said. It's a lot of nights, when the guys are still at the shop. Like I'm at the shop right now. Lauren is still in the back. There's a customer here right now working on stuff or talking to him about, his bike and what he wants done. And it's a lot of time at night and after hours gets devoted here that kind of nobody really sees that part. And so when we're out and we're out having fun, it just makes it that much sweeter to see him so happy and see him have a lot of fun because it all pays off.
So I would say you're both pretty happy to be married to motorcycle guys. Okay, so I do have a question, and this question's for both of y'all. So one of y'all can answer it, and then the other one can chime in after it. I don't care who goes first, however you want to do it. Did y'all have anything to do with motorcycles before me and Warren? Somebody go.
Yeah, you want to go ahead?
I didn't know squat about them. I even tried to impress him when we first met and get out there in the garage and try to lay fiberglass. I didn't know what I was doing.
I will say this:
my dad rode a motorcycle when I was a kid, and I rode on the back a little bit. That's about my experience with motorcycles. So.
I was gonna say one of the first pictures she ever sent me, and I can tell you when it was. It was in June, literally like 2 days after we met, because we met on the phone before. 2 days after we physically met, she sent me a picture of her sitting on her dad's Harley Road King, which, by the way, is now the Twisted King. I bought his bike and completely rebuilt it. So what about you, Jamie?
Sure. Yeah. When subject kind of comes up, people just assume that my meeting with motorcycles started when I got together with Lauren and when I met him. But actually, I was very familiar with motorcycles and my whole life. I was 5 years old when my first dirt bike. I rode one of the blue little Enduro Kawasaki 100s. I was like 5 years old riding this dirt bike all around. And, I rode that. I rode dirt bikes for a while, and then I played with some four-wheelers for a while. I rode those in the dunes and in the sand, and had a lot of fun doing that. And then when I was 18, my uncle said, "Okay, you're not gonna mess around anymore. If you're gonna do it right." He said, he made me a deal. He said, if you do the A-Bait safety course and you do the weekend and you do the course and you pass and you get, he said, you have to get it on license. You can't just bring me the certificate. He said, I want to see your license. So when you get it on your license, let me know and I will buy you your first set of leathers and boots. So I said, sure, challenge accepted. And I did. I signed up that spring and I took the class over the weekend. I was the youngest and the only girl. And then at the end of the course, I was the only one to get all of the points right on the written test and all of the points on the course. So I passed it, got my license, and I still have the set of I still have the jacket and the chaps and the boots that I still wear and love. So, but yeah, I've been around it my whole life, and it was initially something that for sure caught my eye. I was very comfortable, and it's funny because I don't think when he met me, he didn't expect, you know, that I knew much about kind of a little bit about what was going on. So that was fun. It was fun to play with him.
Just thought you were just a pretty girl with a pretty smile. He had no idea what he was actually getting, huh?
Warren will tell you, I was the chick from the bank because that's how we met.
How did you meet?
I was the chick from the bank. It was the summer before I was in graduate school. I actually have a law degree. So the summer before I started law school, I was working at our local bank here down the street, and he had become a customer, and he walked in, and that's how we met. We met because he was a customer at the bank.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah.
So you have a degree also, don't you, Stacy?
Yes, I do. I have an associate's degree and I have a bachelor's in business with a minor in advertising. Not that I do anything with it because I am in sales for the past 20 plus years.
So I will say this. So I finally put Stacy in charge because she actually has the degree. She does it for a living. She's out looking for my sponsors now because I'm not any good at it, apparently.
Yeah,
so,
I had to rewrite your letter.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to get something done, you might as well do it with a professional. I will add this. I bet you and Warren don't argue very often, do you? Quick answer.
I mean,
Quick. Yes or no? Yes. I wouldn't want to argue with a lawyer either.
Is that what I need to
argue with a
be
lawyer
to get you to not argue with me? I need to be a lawyer.
I don't. You would just feel like you would never, ever win a fight. It was never going to happen. They're going to get you on a technicality. I plead the fifth. That's what I would say. I plead the fifth.
I love you, but I feel like that now.
Yeah, right.
Okay, Kevin.
And he said, "Had a degree on whooping Kevin's ass." Brian's here. So okay, so I have many more questions. So I'm gonna start with Stacy first on this one because this is probably one of the biggest things people want to know. I know earlier I asked you, how is it being married to me? Is basically what I was asking. But how much do you literally? Oh, I feel like it's. So how much do you really feel like you have to sacrifice for what my actual passion doing this stuff is? How much do you sacrifice doing that? I know, right?
Well, I've learned to just do what I want to do me. And if you want to come along. And if you don't, then that's your loss. I mean, I told you a long time ago, I'm not going to sit home and wait for you. And I mean, I invite you to do things. I want you to join in and you pick and choose what you want to do. And I've learned not to worry about it. Honestly, I mean, I get upset sometimes, but I mean, I'm not going to let what I want and what you want, I'm not going to fight about it anymore. So I just put my big girl pants on and decided, you know what, I'm going to live my life and do what I want to do. And if he wants to come, he's going to come. So
now,
is that the answer you wanted?
Hold on. What I really want is I just want honesty. So now,
I'm being honest.
Can you answer that question, Jamie?
Sure. I don't think, I don't think we're in, like Stacy and I are really in a particularly easy position because, like I kind of stated before, what Warren does requires, tons of time, not only during business hours, but during off hours as well. So it took a while to really understand that, like, after being in this role, Warren's an only child and I'm an only child. We're both staunchly independent, super stubborn, and neither of us, we would do fine, we do fine on our own, but we're together because we love each other. And over time, you build this foundation of trust and transparency that absolutely has to be there, or none of this works. Like, one of the things that makes us a little bit different is that our is what butters our bread. Our shop is what butters our bread. There's no other. Warren doesn't have another day job,
Right.
and so, he has to have the time and the freedom to do what he needs to do, and or else it doesn't work. If I was, if I was constantly griping about whatever his time at the shop, his late nights, then he couldn't be creative and he couldn't have the mental space that he needs to do what he needs to do. So it took a while to get used to that, and there were definitely some bumps in the road. But now I feel like we've been together for so long that we know each other, and there's a super solid, rock solid foundation of trust and commitment. Like, yep, you do your thing, and I will see you on the return. What can I do for you? What fires can I put out for you so that you can go and be the guy you need to be, for the job? So
Right. Well, another thing is,
and I can appreciate that, but the thing that I deal with is that, Kevin works at Shell all day, and then he comes home and all weekends it's motorcycle seat and people coming over, and he's got this to do and this to do and this to do, and that's what I get exhausted with. That's why I said what I said. It's to a point to where it's like, okay, well, you got to do your thing. I mean, I've got this 8-year-old I got to entertain, so I'm going to do my thing, and you can come with us if you want. I mean, we do a lot of things together, don't get me wrong, but
well, I think you were kind of worried about the way it came across, honey. I totally get what you're saying. It's not like you're telling me, well, fine, you make a choice, because you know as good as I do. It's not always a choice. You get you're back against the wall sometimes with builders or with customers, or you're going to be taking a trip, so you want that extra money, so you put in the extra hours. I get what you're saying. I think what you meant was, together as a couple, like Jamie said, we're at a place in our relationship now where there's almost 100%, like you said, transparency and trust. She knows that if I have to work, I have to work. She's not going to give me a hard time or beat me up about it. But she also knows that if I don't have to work, I'm going, because I need the break. I need the step away. Also, I need the family time, because that re-energizes me. Before we had Kate, you could ask her, she'll tell you, I wouldn't even come in from the garage until 11:30 midnight, and then take a shower and then go to bed. And it's really hard on that. So she's a trooper, which is, a lot of people are like, you're stupid for bringing your wife on here. She's just going to beat you up about this. Well, she's not going to beat me up about anything, because I know where her heart's at. I know what she really thinks, which is why I really wanted to bring her on here. People would understand. It takes a very special woman to deal with a day job, a part-time job, a hobby, and the show,
and your stress.
Yeah. He needs to scoot over more. I can't see him.
Hold on.
No.
No.
Yeah. Keep going. Tell him to scoot over now.
There you go.
There he is. What's up, buddy?
From Barnyard. Stopping by to say,
What else is going on here?
that is Miss Stacy.
I can't see the screen.
I know.
I can't see the screen real small.
Super far away.
Check this out. Okay, so hold on 2 seconds. Let me fix this for you real quick. I'm gonna let y'all have the full stage real fast. I can't get over to me. Where am I at? Gosh dang it. I thought I could hide myself, but I can't hide myself. I can't do it.
Eric and I are going to the cars outside. We'll see you later.
What's up, buddy? What's happening, bud? So, okay, so here's another question. So, and I've experienced this, but I'm gonna, I'm gonna put her on the spot real quick. How did you feel? And this is for Stacy. How did you feel after a year and a half, which 11 months of it was my fault. The other 6 months was the painter's fault. But how did you feel after sacrificing so much for a year and a half when the Twisted King was in Austin and won Best of Show out of all those bikes? How did you feel that day?
Oh, well, I don't know if anybody recorded me, but I was jumping up and down like a crazy person.
She started crying. She was so happy. She literally started crying.
Yeah.
Those are the ups. I mean, it's just like you when y'all
I was very happy for you. Well deserved.
When you and Warren and the kids were in Galveston, how did you feel that? How did you feel about Warren at that point, that exact point in time?
I'm always proud of him. He takes such care and such pride in not only the things that he does in builds, but also, with how he interacts with people, how he talks to, when he's in project though, it completely consumes his mind. Like whether it's a particular customer that he was working on that day, or his own stuff that he gets to get super creative with. But I mean, to see him, like in Galveston with the win and everything, it was just, like those late nights that the sweat, yeah. I have this really, really great picture of him in the side shop. The side shop is like the metalworking shop where the bare metal gets turned into a tank or something like that. And I have this really great picture. There's sparks flying. He's got the helmet on, and it's just like to take something from that and then to take it to a show. And Galveston was packed. There was a billion people there, and for all day long, people coming and taking pictures. It's like it's just it justifies the time and the energy spent on it. And I love seeing him in that way. It was great.
Yeah, those are those times. Well, you more than anybody get to see it. But like with me, and this is the truth, I'm not even lying about it. He picks on me for it sometimes. But when I first talked to Warren on Facebook, I was like, oh, it's Warren Vesley. When he sent me his cell phone number, I was like, oh, I've got Warren Vesley's cell phone number.
Yeah.
And then when I first met him at the show in Galveston, that's the first time I've ever met him in person. I mean, goose pimples, and I've still got him right now because he's one of the original biker build-off guys that was on the Discovery Channel. I mean, that's how I found out who he was. And when you're sitting there, and in my mind, I'm sitting there with a celebrity thinking, oh shit, it's Warren Vesley. Oh, and now I get to meet his wife and his kids and his bike, and he's in my show. And it was insane for me. It was crazy. He's standing beside you, Amy.
Well, I also have a new gift that he's trying to distract me with. So I don't know.
It's not an X-rated gift, is it?
It is not. It is not. Hold on. I got a new. I can't. But I got a new.
Oh, that's nice. Back up. You're too close. Back up so we can see the whole thing.
It looks so. It's so hard to see in the camera here, but
is that a Beretta?
No, it's a Sig. It's a compact 9 Sig. So it's mine now. So he was tempting me with it off to the side, distracting. But yeah, Galveston was incredible. It was a lot of fun, and we thank you so much for having us and keeping us. And that was Halloween weekend, and so we brought the kids, and y'all hosted us and took us trick-or-treating, and it was a lot of fun. We had a really nice time.
Well, that's, for me, that's what everything I do is like those occasions. With the slip, there was one Halloween that I did not participate in, and it was for good reason. But I participated with Cade and Stacy. But those are the times that I really love. And you can ask Stacy, when Cade was 2, I had us all dress up for Halloween, and she's like, "Well, why are you doing this?" And I was like, "Man, have you not seen the pictures of me and Devin? I dress up every year with my kids." So I'm Batman, she's Batgirl, and Cade is Robin. And we have a picture where he let me paint his eyes at 2 years old. Actually, he wasn't even 2 years old, was he yet? He was like a month away from 2.
No.
Yeah.
Well, I don't remember.
Anyway, it's irrelevant. But we dress up every single year now, and it's so much fun. I didn't dress up the year y'all were here, of course, because we're hosting you guys.
Weekend.
Lost the camera.
So I have so many questions I want to ask both of y'all that, they're things that I guess that, people that don't know Warren or don't know me, they would have no earthly idea what we're talking about. But I guess everybody's going to have a struggle in relationships. Well, this isn't about struggling. This is about partnerships. And this is about, being a team. That's one thing I love to tell people about Stacy is when she first met me, the day she ever laid eyes on me, I had shorts on, a ratty t-shirt, and I had been welding and making sissy bars all day. So I had that black soot all in my nose. I mean, it was not what you would want to the very first time you meet somebody. Here she comes walking in. Huh? Yeah. Okay.
That burn metal smell.
Well, I like the smell of burn metal, but I know what you're saying. A woman probably doesn't. But when she met me, it was like, it's no big deal. I mean, and she walked in, have never seen me before, walked in, and here I am. And I'm like, what the hell? I didn't know you were coming right now. And she's like, well, you said come over. And it was lunchtime. So she spent her lunch break with me, and she stayed. And, to me, that's really cool. There was no way to hide. I couldn't pretend to be somebody else or do something else. She caught me at the moment of right knee deep in what I do.
Right.
And,
then he invited me for spaghetti later that night, and he cooked.
And if you ask her, it's the only time I've ever cooked for her.
Pretty much.
When
a few times.
One of the first times I met Warren, he invited me out. He invited me out for a 6-pack of White Castles at a PBR. No, a stack of White Castles and a 6-pack of PBR. He's all mine, ladies. He's all mine.
Worked.
And it worked.
So how did you two meet?
She already said at a bank.
Okay, well, I didn't hear. Sorry.
Oh yeah, no. I was working at a bank, and he was the short of it.
And he just walked in and said, "Hey, you're good looking. You want to go out?"
pretty much.
Or did he say, "Hey, I build custom choppers. You want one?"
So I knew who he was, but he didn't know who I was. So
hot bank chick.
Yeah, the hot bank chick.
Hot bank chick. That's exactly what he called me. So his shop is in my hometown. So during the time of all of the original Discovery Show stuff, I was here, and we have a mutual friend who has been friends of my family for a long time. So I was hearing about what Morgan and our other friend Larry were doing for the Discovery Show build off, like third person, So I would hear his mom would his mom Margot, sweetest lady in the whole world, would show us like pictures and kind of give us an update on like what was going on and everything. And I always wanted to stop, but I mean, I was what am I gonna do? Walk in and be like, hi, we're friends. We have a friend together. I just wanted to say hi. I felt I felt very awkward in, being like, oh man, I really want to stop there. It's super cool. I want to go in and see the shop. And I never did. But so that from that time to the time we met was about 4 years. So I knew who he was, but he didn't know he had no idea who I was. So oh yeah, I don't think it would have been about 2 years. It wasn't. It was about 2. That's right. So yeah.
I asked to go riding.
Well, come over here if you're gonna talk.
Hold on.
Uncle Bruno just said, well, at least you knew his bank account was.
His social security number and phone number and his address.
I wasn't stalking you. I'm your banker. And you're not broke, so you're good.
Her,
There
she
you go.
wanted to go riding sometime, and I said, "Would you like to go?" She goes, "What makes you think I don't have my own biker license?" And I said, well, that's cool. Hop on that bike over there. We were going to going to
It was
at the county fair.
Yeah.
It was a bike night, and I said, "Well,
yeah.
hop on that big dog chaperone."
And it was a big dog. He put me on a big dog. He's like, here, ride this. You can ride this, and I'll ride this. And I was like, okay, let's do this.
She
And
was
so
22 years old and didn't get the beach. She hopped on that big dog and took off. And I said, "That's my girl."
yeah,
That's the one.
that's
Okay, so now here, I'm going to let my wife tell everybody how we met. It's a good story, and it's a true story. I love this story. I think it's awesome.
We met on, was it Yahoo Personals?
Mm-hmm.
And he thought I was easy because I
didn't
told
say
him
that.
because I told him, you know how back in the day you used to just email a couple questions or a question, and then you'd have to wait till the next night or whenever you got online and you answer the question, and then it went back and forth and back and forth and back and forth forever. So, and I was in sales then too, and I was on the road. So I told him to just call me so we could speak. I wanted to cut through the red tape and just see if we were compatible and just talk to the guy. And he told me later that he thought I was easy because I told him to call me. And I was like, no, I was just being lazy. I didn't want to sit there and email this little bit of information take forever in a day. I thought you were cute. I wanted to meet you. I didn't want to take forever. So anyway, that's pretty much it.
That's a true story. That is a great story. That to me.
And then we talked on the phone for like weeks.
Yeah, we talked on the phone for 1 month before we actually physically met. You showed up on my doorstep when I was ugly. So.
Well, you kept asking me to go out and all this stuff, and I was like, I'm not going out to meet some strange boy at a bar. I'm not doing that.
Huh?
You kept asking me to go out and meet you at a bar, and I was like, nope, I'm not doing that. Nope.
Yeah.
And then he convinced me to come to his house.
Yeah, she froze right there.
Oh no.
Look at that face.
And he said, bookkeeper was there. Am I frozen?
You were.
Huh? Oh, anyway, well, your bookkeeper was there, and Devin, I think, had been in and out, and so you convinced me to come to your house during the day. So I did.
Good deal. So what were you going to say, Jamie?
I was just wondering, were y'all like far apart, or like how many miles apart were?
Oh, not that far.
We lived pretty close. I lived in Deer Park at the time, and he lived in Sagemont, which is about 20 minutes.
Yeah,
15, 20 minutes.
Away.
I was not geographically undesirable.
I'd already been through enough of those. Oh my
Help.
God. They live an hour away.
Yeah, that's yeah.
So I have
We
a
both-
question. Since Warren's actually standing there, I have a question. Does Warren ever come to you like to help with the design of a bike? Like when he's building Samson or the American Badass, does he ever run the designs by you?
Like for approval?
No, not necessarily approval, but
Okay.
more like
No.
for input.
Not at all. No, it's all. He has like a rolling imagination. I don't know what to do with the creative process. Like, he's all, "Hey, I got this idea," and it's just my job to sit down and like because it's it's like a flow. Like, once he starts talking, then he kind of he's able to verbalize what he sees in his head.
Right.
So, yeah, no, he talks to me about it, but it's never a question.
Because my best friend lives in Washington now, and anytime I build anything, I always ask him. But Stacy, she's the one. I mean, when I do a seat, I bring it inside, and she looks at it. Oh, okay.
I critique it. I do. I critique
She
it.
does, and she really does. And like,
You don't like it, but I critique it.
like
I'm
when
like,
I
why
was
does it
building,
have bumps right there? And why is that lumpy? And why is that uneven?
Hey, hold on, I gotta go that way. See, she ain't lying.
What?
No, me too.
Polishing that.
Did I stick again?
No, you're fine. You're doing great.
Oh,
Great.
I don't
No.
always do it. Sometimes I just go, yeah, that looks fine. But I haven't seen the bike, so I don't know what it looks like on the bike. That makes a big difference. So
Yeah.
The reason I'm asking this is because,
I had a lot to say with the blue bagger.
yes, what that bike took me 10 and a half months, me and two of my friends, 10 and a half months, and we handmade everything on that bike. So we would make a piece and then go get her. What's this look like? No, that doesn't look good. Shit. We start over and start making another part different. Hey, how's this look? I don't have time for this. I'm cooking dinner.
You should have more confidence in yourself.
Well, if that's true, Stacey, you have a keen eye for detail. Good job.
Well, thank you. That's what my art teacher in my advertising courses told me. I can't draw for shit though. Don't ask me to draw, cut, do any of that because
You
I'll
can't cut a
mess it
straight
up.
line. She can't do it.
Nope, can't do it. But I can look at something and look and tell if it's worth a damn or not.
So Warren just said something in the background. I do have confidence in what my abilities are, but sometimes I like a different set of eyes to look at something so I don't miss something by my personality. And you can ask yourself, I'm a control freak when it comes to stuff. So
Kevin has
sometimes
a very good eye for taste with materials looking good together and different colors that I wouldn't normally put together. He makes them look really well because sometimes I'm like, I don't know about that. But I mean, he makes it, he pulls it off. It's like, wow, I would have never thought to put that together. So yeah, so I go to him when we're doing flooring and different things like that. I'd be like, okay, this is your expertise. Put it together.
it's so funny.
Well,
Because it's true. It's very true. That's one of the things I really, a lot of people when they meet me and Stacy, they're like, God dang, man, they're like cats and dogs. They're always at each other. And we're not actually at each other. I think one of the things is that that's how we communicate. And a lot of people, it's a little abrasive. And I'll take the blame for it. But I do know this, that when we do communicate, it's done with. That's what it is. And it works for us. Other couples don't communicate the way we do. And I get that. And I know one other couple that does, but I'm not going to say their names. So now that we've got all that stuff out of the way, I have questions for the other half of y'all's
I can say
life.
I can get my way when it really matters. I will say that.
Yes, that's
I
true.
think.
So now, one thing that has really impressed me, Jamie and Warren both, is I got to meet your kids. Y'all have some of the most well-behaved kids I've ever seen.
Thank you.
There was only one time in that whole weekend that scared the death out of me, and I almost held Warren's hand because I got scared. But I'm not going to bring that part up. But what I'm going to say is, y'all have two great kids, and Cade's right there in the mix of the age with your kids. How does it make you feel knowing that your oldest one is welding and doing things? Not saying he's going to be a bike builder, but just that he's learning that physical craft with his hands. How's that make you feel?
This guy right here.
I can't see him. Is he there?
Yeah, yeah.
Put him in, he's got to get directly in front of you. Oh, there he is. What's up, man?
There you go. There you go.
Got great hair. Look what happens. Man, it happens to me. So
this is Tuck, and he actually is constantly his brain is just hardwired to build an engineer. My mom always brings it up that when Tuck was like, it was before his second birthday, so he was probably somewhere in the ballpark of a year and a half. He stopped like just grabbing a toy and then playing with it. And when he would get something, he would grab it and he would pick it up, and then he just would instinctively turn it over, and he had to know how it worked before he would play with it. He did that with like every single toy that he ever played with. Like, my house was a disaster for years because he just would demolish things to see how it worked. And honestly, even though when you're in the thick of it, it's to deal with it, but I let him do it, even though it was kind of frustrating for my like OCD kind of neat personality. But I knew that eventually it would pay off, because I could tell like he just so loved to learn how things went together and fit together and worked mechanically, and how do I get this to work? And then it just grew from there. He started wiring like little plastic car bodies with like batteries and wires and LED lights. So he would give his little toy cars headlights when he was, I don't know, 5 or 6, and then it just goes up from there. And now that he's a little bit older, he gets to spend more time at the shop, and so now dad's teaching him like the plenishing hammer and welding and the English wheel and all kinds of cool stuff that it's the crafting part of the crafting side of that. So
I'm gonna tell you something real quick about that. So when Warren posted that little 1 minute, 2 minute video of him welding, I showed Cade, and up until that point that he saw him welding, Cade was like, yeah, whatever, I'm gonna paint. I'm just gonna paint the bikes. You build them, I'll paint them.
Yeah, Patrick, you'll be so proud.
But once I showed him welding, Cade was like, well, I can do that. And I was like, yeah, you can. So Warren spread it to 2 different families.
Yeah, right.
So, and that's cool, because there was Warren gave my oldest son the Sportster so that he could build.
Yeah.
So it's still happening.
That's fantastic. Yeah.
But see,
Speaking about building bikes,
but it's funny that you mentioned that. Well, Tucker has an announcement.
me and my gonna build a bagger together, and this team we're gonna come to the sound competition.
Mini bagger.
Yeah,
So
with the mini
Tucker's next
bagger.
project is a mixed that he is working on. He's got it all assembled now, and so he will be. We think we're not sure. We think he might compete in some sound competitions. So shout out to our Sound Wars family, our audio competition family, that we might have some competition.
He's gonna start out his grandpa dropped his bike off here from North Carolina, and he wanted a stereo in it. So instead of working on a customer's bike at 11, he's going to work on he's gonna take the fairing apart himself. He's gonna put in a new stereo, an amp, and some speakers. And he's gonna do that for his grandpa.
Yeah, for my dad.
Right.
My dad's sick this year. He doesn't know that yet, but
I
he
hope
might know
doesn't watch the show.
so, but yeah, Tuck's got a mini chopper that he's working on now. So we'll
Uh-oh.
Nice.
I guess
Congratulations.
we got to break out Cade's chopper and have a 10 and under biker build off.
super fun. Very cool.
But that's so, and you get, and I hate it because I want Stacy to tell the story, but I know the story better. Cade was the same way. He would take things apart, but Cade wouldn't take things apart. He organizes things. So I have a video right after we moved into this house. Cade wasn't quite 2 yet. And he went into my garage, and you got to remember, we're moving into this house. So everything's just out and about. I was finishing up building the blue bike, so there were tools everywhere. Well, he grabbed 6 buckets, empty buckets, 5-gallon buckets, and put them all in a row against the back door of the garage. And he went and picked up all my tools. And he put all the sockets in one bucket, all the wrenches in one bucket, all the screwdrivers. And he did this before he was 2. And I was like, man, what is, and I just watched him. He didn't have a care in the world. All he cared about was make sure the stereo was on and up loud, which we know why it needed to be loud now. But he had to have the stereo in his head. And then he had to make sure all the tools were organized in their proper places. And in his mind, it was in buckets.
He still does that with all his toys. He puts his cars in line. He puts his dinosaurs in line. He puts Legos in line. I don't know.
So when he told me he wanted to be a painter, I was like, well, I'm cool with that. I need a painter. It's all good. But you're going to learn this too, because I
Right.
want you to be well-rounded with it. But okay, so with all of this going on, and I hate to put you on the spot again, Stacy.
Me?
Yeah. So I told you, and this applies to both of y'all because you and I had a conversation the other day about this. So just read into this and you can answer it too. Us men are not that we're bigger, badder, better, anything. We're probably more hard-headed. We don't tend to always ask for help. I know with my company, it's real hard to teach. I'm not a good teacher. I've never been one. I don't have the patience. I don't know how to do it. I've tried, but I fell at it every time. But I finally gave up and told Stacy, I was like, look, we're this far along and I really need some sponsors for this show. I've asked her, hey, come into this, do this. I'll actually pay you to actually sell and pick up these sponsorships and put the money into the company. Her being a professional salesperson, she's the fit. I mean, she fits. That's what she does. Do you do that with Warren? Are you part of the actual Scooter Shooters team, or do you do things like that for Warren?
She handles the Facebook mostly because
So there's
she makes some awesome posts.
There's things that I do for the shop here and there as far as really hands-on, not anything that's daily, but I Warren threw social media in my lap last year because he just quit. He's like, I cannot do this and this and this and this, and then try to come up with something cool and creative to put on social media. And so he said, here, you do this and you do this for me. And I kind of started playing around a little bit with that last year, and it's a process. I'm trying to get more comfortable with, speaking on camera and talking about, the things that we have going on at the shop. But I'm trying. I'm working on it. So that's my shtick here is media, and I've actually done some writing. You mentioned Urban Rides magazine with Daniel Roby. They pulled me on for a couple of articles last year, and I had a blast writing for them. And I'm looking to maybe do some more collaboration work with them too. So, and yeah, I did also write an article for Thunder Roads. We get Thunder Roads here too. So I'm more of a dual social media out person.
I hear him in the background. I know he's standing beside you, but I can't see him because I've got all of us on the screen. So it's just you I can see. He has to get behind you. There you go. Now I can get it.
Cute.
Did you cut your golden locks off?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, he did.
I was digging the long hair. Damn it. Like my opinion matters.
Actually, Brad's wife Michelle, cut it too.
So that's a choice. Okay, so one thing I was gonna say, and I know this is it's seeming really one-sided, but you told me something the other day about a ride you do every year or however often. Something about it's a lot of women is what you said, Jamie.
Oh,
because I want to get Stacy riding, but we had that conversation. She just wants to be the passenger with me.
Okay, so from where I'm sitting, I see a lot of women that are looking to get involved. I see a lot of women who love riding as a passenger, and that's phenomenal. Listen, I hear people say horrible things about wanting to ride on the back of the bike, like with their man. It's like that's a blast. Like if that's your thing and you have no desire to be in the driver's seat, like that is super cool. You're out there, you're having fun, you're with your man, and the passenger has a lot of duties too, watching for traffic, directions, getting, helping you watch the scene, DJ,
pictures,
so,
DJ, all that. Yeah.
I love riding passenger with Lauren. Quite frankly, we have a lot of meaningful conversations on the bike because it's literally just us. Nobody can interrupt us. So a lot of times I do prefer to ride with him because it's our time together to talk. However, I also see a lot of women who are really interested in this whole, like, what is all of this about? Why is there such a draw to motorcycles? I think I want to get in on that. But there's such a high barrier to kind of get into this world if you don't really know anyone. Like if your guy doesn't ride, or if you don't really know anyone that rides. And I'm trying to sorry, Stacey. I'm trying to think of a way to lower that barrier of entry for women who want to ride, who are either interested and basically have no idea where to start. So I'm trying to brainstorm some things about if you're a girl and you want to get interested and you don't know where to start, come talk to me. I just am not exactly sure what that looks like yet. I don't have a specific ride planned or anything like that, but I'm trying to come up with something where I can kind of reach those ladies who are interested and really want to know, but maybe kind of just sit in the background because they're not sure of who they can go to or who to talk to, or how do you even learn how to ride a motorcycle? How do you even begin? So yeah, I think that would be a lot of fun because once you start, you never stop and you never want to stop. So
I know that that's one thing. You know, you say the navigation part of it. She plays a really big role when she's with me. One of the
Yep.
best things in the world when we're riding. The coolest thing I ever really experienced with her is when she taps my leg.
Right.
When
I
she
know.
taps my leg, I know
I
what to do.
When Warren kind of reaches back and he pats my leg like, I got you, babe. You know, oh, I love that. I love that so much.
Okay, so when she pats my leg, it means haul ass. Hammer it. Just go. You know, we had I'll tell you a quick story because this was, I would have never in a million years thought she would say yes. But we were in Sturgis in 2019. Yeah, because you didn't go 2020. 2019. And it was the maiden voyage of the Rockstar. So she had never really been on it before. So we took off going, and there was a whole group of us, and there was this one guy from Canada. Maybe he's watching, but he had one of them club style Dynas with the high T-bar handlebars and the tuned exhaust. It's a badass bike.
Monkey
And
drippers.
somebody was like, "You need to go race him." And I'm like, "Dude, I got my wife on the back of this bike. This ain't no race bike."
Right.
She taps me on the leg. I ease up beside him, and I'm looking at him. And all of a sudden, I felt her tap my leg, and I was like, "Wah!" And I was gone. I mean,
I love it.
when I found out, well, we were going so fast that the clutch cover, the chrome dome, it spun off like went flying down the freeway. That's how hard I had it hammered. Anyway, when we finally slowed down, I lost him. I mean, he was so far gone it wasn't even funny. When we finally slowed down, I asked the guy, "Dude, how fast did we end up going?" He goes, "You walked away from me. Literally, the moment you hit the throttle, you were gone." He goes, "I hit 130 and couldn't catch you." And I was like, "What the?" That's with my wife on the back of the bike. And I was like,
All this extra weight, baby.
"Holy shit." Because
That-
I've never been that fast on my crotch rocket. I just didn't have the guts to go that fast. But when she pats my leg, man, I just know, all right, let's go. And yeah, it was awesome. It was even more awesome that we got stopped and everything was cool. We didn't die. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Right.
We've done wheelies before on my other chopper, which he tapped my leg, pulled the whole front end of the chopper off the ground. That's scary.
Crazy. That's crazy. No, I'm glad y'all are okay. The last I have a fun fact. I have a Kawasaki ZRX that I also ride. And the last time I got on it, I couldn't see the speedometer after about 138. So
Wow.
so I know it's fast. It's so fast on a bike. It's like, and then when you stop, you're like, holy crap, I can't believe that I went that fast. It's so yeah, I get it. It's a lot of fun. Good for you. Hold on.
I'm kind of cheating, y'all. I have this live on my computer, so I'm watching it so I can see the comments. So that's why I keep looking off.
So here's something, 'cause we're
Now I know never to tap Kevin on the leg.
So read the comment now, Stacy, on the screen.
I know I read it, Earl. Now I know never to tap Kevin on the leg.
No, read the comment that's on the screen.
Stacy, take another drink so we get the real scoop. Okay. Get in the truck, Brian.
Okay, so I have, because we're at the end of the show now, which thank you both very much for participating and doing this. Y'all are doing great. I do have one more question for the both of y'all, and I do want a full answer.
I can't believe you haven't asked me about the monkey drippers.
Oh, yes, I have to. Okay, so I'm going to tell you a story, and then she's going to tell you what happened. So
If I remember.
The first time I ever took her to a rally, and it was Austin of all places at the Rock Rally. That's one of the best rallies in the country. But she'd never been around all this debauchery before. So
My rally's pretty nasty.
me and the other group of friends I used to ride with, when I first met her, I no longer ride with them anymore. They were just, sometimes you just got to go your separate ways. But anyway, so we're walking around checking out all the different bikes and stuff, and my bike had more of a drag style bar is what mine had, pullbacks. So she walks by and she sees this guy riding, like this. And she goes, "Oh my, look at those. Those are," and what'd you call them?
Monkey drippers.
So ape hangers are officially known now as monkey drippers.
You drippers.
Ta-da!
Because she was as sincere and serious as she could possibly be. She's
I
like,
thought I
"Oh,
was
look at those
right.
monkey drippers."
I thought that's what they were called.
So, all right.
Ape
So here's
hangers,
my,
who would have thought?
yeah. Right. So here's my final question for you both, and I do want both of you to answer. If there was one piece of advice after all the years you've been married to Warren and you've been married to me, if there was one piece of advice that encapsulated all of it, being a husband, a businessman, a bike builder, a seat maker, a fabricator, if there was one piece of advice you could give either one of us, what would your advice be?
To the men?
Yeah,
Yeah,
what would
Who am I speaking to? The
you're
men?
speaking to you're speaking to your husband. What would be a piece of advice you would give your husband? What would be a piece of advice you would give me that would help us in all of it? Not just being a good father or a good bike builder or a good husband, but with all of it together.
I don't know if this is advice, but I would say sometimes look up and see what's going on around you.
That's a good answer. That's a good answer. That's a real good answer, actually.
I just think sometimes you miss it.
And I probably do.
I'm not trying to be mean. I just
No, and I don't think anybody take it that way. I don't. I understand what you mean. What about you, Jamie? What would you tell Warren?
Buy me tacos and touch my butt.
Buy me tacos.
if we're going in that route, then I'd say take me out for margaritas and come home and throw me on the bed.
Oh, well, okay then. That's backfired.
I
Mama don't want to be told no.
I told you.
um it's we've man, this is hard because we've come a long way together. We've fought our battles, we've duked it out, and we've come out on the other side. And so there's really not I just think that I don't know if this is something that I would specifically tell him, but it all comes down to, like, I think it's trust. I think the foundation is trust for because everything else can come after that. And so I do, though, like what Stacy said about look up every once in a while. Take a breather, look up, get your nose off the grindstone, and look up. I do love that.
Well, I will say this. I love both of your answers. I genuinely do. I'm going to go out on a limb and I'm going to speak for Warren and myself both. What we do is who we are. But what we do is for everyone in our lives. And I know that for a fact. Yes, this is my hobby. This is my passion. This is what I really enjoy doing. But I also do it now to take care of my family. And sometimes it doesn't come across that way. Sometimes it come across as, I don't want to be around you. And it's not that. It's, I want to get this stuff done so that when we go on vacation in Panama City, we have extra money to enjoy the time we do get together.
Yeah.
So with that being said, how was it? Wasn't bad, was it?
I sometimes think it's playtime so you can build bikes.
Sometimes. So how was it? Y'all actually both made
I'm gonna remind you about this money part when we go on vacation. Cough
Ding,
it
ding,
up,
mama.
brother.
Got it. So this is what I do every Thursday night. For those that don't watch, like my wife, this is how it goes every week. What did y'all think about it? Is all right?
I had a great time. Great time. I enjoyed myself. Thank you so much for having me. I'd love to do it again.
Yeah, it was
Yes.
fun. I
So
brought my wine. I didn't do shots, but I brought my little wine, kind of loosen me up a little bit, so I wouldn't be such a hard ass or to stick in the mud.
I'll tell you too, just like I tell everybody else, you're part of the Grind family now. You can come back anytime you want. You have the link. If you ever want to come on, if you ever want to say anything, shoot me a message. Stacy, slap me in the head. I'm right here. I would love to have either one of y'all back on, either together or by yourselves, or you and Warren at the same time. That's great.
I'll just get me all riled up and kick you off. Make you be the guest.
Come on up, sister. I'll take a Thursday night off in a heartbeat.
That's a good idea. We need to interview them.
Yes.
Tucker did
Yes,
the
that
best
is a
in that.
fantastic idea. We should ask people. We should create a poll. If you could ask Kevin or Warren anything, what would you ask
Right.
them?
Yeah, we need to flip the script for real, and us write down questions, because I know my husband doesn't write down anything, so we can have questions in advance set up. We can ask the audience what they want to know. So, like you said,
So-
yeah.
So I agree that those are all valid ideas. But here's the deal: when it's just me, I'm having to do this
Having
the
to do
whole
what?
night. Look at my eyes.
Oh, well, you're so
I have to
tiny on my
read-
screen.
I have to read the comments and then stay focused. And Mike Campbell, you know Mike. Mike used to just get on here. Stop reading the comments. Do the show. Stop reading the comments. Just do the show.
Yeah.
That's because he doesn't write down anything. He's looking for creative ideas.
Yeah.
Well, I'm looking through the comments because sometimes, and I don't know, maybe tonight might be one of them because I haven't looked at the comments a whole lot. But typically there's over 300 to 400 comments per live video. So when they got their own side story going on, and I only get bits and pieces here and there, and sometimes the bits and pieces I get are not the good bits and pieces.
I'm a little nervous to go back and look because I can't see anything. So
I
far-
cheated. I mean, look what I did. I pulled up my personal computer.
there you go.
Well,
That's why I'm looking past the screen at my computer.
so I want to say thank you both for coming on here. It's a pleasure talking to y'all and getting the insight from y'all side, because for so long, and this is the truth, the women in the motorcycle industry have pretty much just been silent, and it's either because they were afraid or it was because they weren't accepted. You know,
Either nobody asked.
or nobody asked. And I think that's probably one of my biggest pet peeves, Stacy, is that people will walk right past me and not even look at me or acknowledge me or anything, and just keep walking right on, go to Warren or whatever. And it's like I'm literally standing right next to him. Like, did you not see the 6 foot tall person standing next to Warren? Like, it's me. Hello, you know.
Yeah,
It's hard. So I get it. I know where you're coming
Well,
from.
I know this is all about Kevin, and I understand that. I mean, I've come to terms with that. I mean, I'm not the center of attention at these rallies. It's not my thing.
No.
You know, I don't try to be. I really try to be. Whenever we go to rallies, I've worked booths more than I care to admit that I've worked the booth. I've sold shirts. I've sold purses that he's made. I've done whatever I could to try to make a buck for him while he's off doing his thing. And I told him, I'm like, I'm not working the booth.
not doing it no more, damn it. And then she gets and does it.
And then I end up doing it anyway.
And then she gets breakfast for everybody. And then she goes and gets me lunch, or she goes and gets drinks.
And
That
nobody
is
eats
one,
it.
that is one thing I will say. She has done more for my booths. I've been doing this since 2003. I've never had that type of help, not even from myself. I mean, she does things. She handles business. The number one thing is, you got cards? Make sure you got cards.
Cards,
Yeah.
And
tape.
she has a stack
this.
full of them in her purse.
Yep.
I'll always forget them.
Exactly.
I always have I always have business cards in my purse. You never know who you're going to meet when. So
Right? Exactly. Exactly. Do you want to say something? Tuck wants to say one more thing.
come on,
Absolutely.
Tuck.
Hi there. I just wanted to ask, do you think that there could be like a sound could you guys make a sound competition for like I don't know, like,
Little people.
yeah, teenager kids to
They don't do the competitions,
Well-
they do the bike build up.
Yeah.
Uh,
So Kevin, so you
So let
Kevin
me
is
let me answer your question there, Tuck. For you, absolutely. I would definitely put on a stereo competition. The only thing is that you're gonna have to talk mom and dad into coming to Galveston.
Yeah, y'all need to come to Galveston.
Because I promise you, I could set that up because I have a real good friend down here that does Banger Sound, the Banger Audio Sound Series. And I promise you, I could talk him into doing one for 18 and younger, for 10 and younger, for 15 and younger. But you got to get your mom and dad to get that bike done and get down here to do it.
heck yeah,
You need to do a bike build up.
yeah.
or a bike build up.
Okay, so since your daddy's talking, tell your daddy to go stand behind your mom so I can see his face too.
Right?
So how much involvement can we help our kids with a bike build off or a biker build off? It can be a bicycle or a motorcycle.
I think
Well-
Cade needs to go visit Patrick and let him show him how to paint.
Tucker
Where's
didn't get-
Patrick at? Is he
He's here.
online?
He's here, yeah. So what did your dad say?
What did he say?
If Tucker didn't get any help at all, he could do it.
Warren's saying if Tucker pretty much if Tucker didn't get any help at all, he could probably do the whole thing.
Tucker could do it.
Okay, I will agree with you, but we would have to find in the industry other kids his age that
Oh,
and that could do this. Because I know Cade doesn't have the aptitude to weld yet because I haven't spent any time with him welding. So he couldn't, no. But he would do it with me though.
there's a young gentleman that we met at Don Ogilvy's house in Ohio in September at his sound competition. I have not ever seen that boy before in my life. I'm not exactly sure. I'm not even gonna guess his age because I don't.
13,
I think he's probably 13 or 14. He had a mini chopper, and I'm telling you what, my mama heart like swelled with pride for this little boy. I'd never met him before. He was so cool and so confident. He rode his bike up under the tent, and he when he hit it, like he knocked everyone dead. He knocked every single person who was standing there dead, and he totally rocked it. I could track him down. I don't know his name
Was
offhand.
that the stereo chopper?
Yeah.
It was like
Okay. So they
Five-
put that on Facebook. I bet you can find that kid easily.
I have a video. I have a video of it. I'll have to go back and find it. And I'm sure that I know somebody that could track him down.
My favorite
So-
was right when he rode out of his parking spot using the suicide clutch going.
This kid's like 13 and he rides with a suicide clutch.
Right on.
Wow.
So well, let's get a hold of that kid, and if it works out, man, I'll put little Scooter Shooters versus little whoever he is. I'll do that in a heartbeat.
have to do that at Don Ogilvy.
It would be-
Said Evil Iron.
Yeah. That might happen in Ohio. I don't know. We'll see how the rest of the year unfolds. But,
Well, no, that would be. I mean, if that's where both of y'all were from, I would come to Ohio then
yeah.
for
bet.
just a build off for those two. But Dad's gonna have to get good on the video. Mom's gonna have to get good on the videos because I want to see everything. Because I tell you what, that would be spectacular.
That'd be pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Be pretty amazing.
I'm down.
I'll
He said, "I'm down."
can do even if it's not like a contest or like a competition, man. Wouldn't it be cool to just watch that journey?
You
You
and
know,
Kate
like-
could build the chopper.
next
He
generation.
could paint it. I'm gonna.
Yeah, he could paint it.
I like the paint is kind of more hard for me, but I like to build all the mechanical. So if I can build it and he can paint it.
That'll work.
Can you imagine
Probably
having
love
a
it.
bunch of like 12-year-olds and under build a bike and paint it and do everything?
It would be
Right?
blue and orange probably because those are his 2 favorite colors.
Well, that's awesome. Well, hey, get a hold of them. I'll put that together. I have no issue with that whatsoever. I think
Oh,
that'd be
Discovery
awesome.
Channel, watch out.
I would be behind. I guarantee you there would be a lot of people behind that. A lot.
That'd be
Thank
pretty
you
great.
so much.
Yes.
Kids biker build off. Yeah, there's plenty out there. So you know what? I think I'm going to make a post about that and start spreading that around to see if we can't find some kids. I might do like the 2021 National Biker Build Off and get as many kids involved at one time as I can.
Yeah.
Make
It's
it an annual thing.
Yeah, so
Yeah, I mean, of course, I mean, parents got to help just because of the nature of what's happening. But man, wouldn't that be cool? Like, as a project together, you do that, you do that hands-on stuff together, and it's this big thing at the end, and everyone has this, this great party, and it's not about who goes home with the trophy. It never really is.
No, it's about that next generation. Because I'll tell you what, the millennial generation, I don't know any of them. I know as of right now today, I only know 2 builders in the last 3.5 years that were under the age of 30. Michael Meza and Colton Lawless. That's the only 2 I've met. And they're the millennial generation I'm speaking of. It just doesn't seem like that age group is interested in this stuff, But Tuck's group and Cade's group, I think they're interested in this stuff.
Yeah.
So
There's a chance. There's a chance.
well, yeah. So yeah, I'm down. I'm 100%
Good.
down with that.
Good. Super fun.
There you go, babe. We've been barking up the wrong tree. We need to look at the little kids.
Hell yeah, I'm down. That's still crooked. What the hell? Why don't y'all tell me?
Your head is crooked, honey. It's not the hat. Hey, and y'all know he would not let me sit up there with him. He made me come sit in my office.
Yeah,
So he can turn me off when he wants.
I had no, I would never do that. Anyway, all right.
We're done.
Yeah. Okay. So I was reading another comment. That's how it goes. All right. Well, thank you both for being on here. I appreciate y'all. Everybody be sure to push the share button. This is a good interview. Everything was awesome. I want to do this again. I think we've got a couple more ladies next week or the week after that are going to be interviewed.
Oh, good. Do we get to find out? Are you going to stay, or is it a surprise?
Well, no, I'm looking for Lisa Farmer, Curly's wife. And I was going to reach out to Logan Black's wife. I forget her name.
You know who you should get a hold of? Is Garrett Livingston's wife, Jill.
Yeah.
Her name's Jill Livingston. That woman has got it going on. You should track her down and look.
Lisa's a rock and roller, She sings in a rock band.
Yeah, she's in a rock band, yeah. So she would be a good one to interview. But here's the whole deal. I've spent so much time doing the builders and the painters, and I've yet to do another seat guy because my 2 buddies, James Carter and Dave Voss, and then even now Troy Swarver, I can't get anybody to do an interview that's a seat guy. I don't know why.
Right. It's ladies' turn. That's good. I love it. I love that you gave us a platform tonight, Kevin, and you acknowledged us, and I appreciate it.
I have been trying to get ladies on here from the beginning. Michelle Rowe is Michelle and a couple of other girls I've got to interview on here. There was a painter. Well, actually, it's all painters. Michelle's a painter too. And I'm just sitting here. Well, where are the female builders? I want some female builders on here. You know. So, and this right here, what we're doing tonight, this was all Heather Barber's idea. You know, she brought it to Brian. Brian brought it to me. I brought it back to Heather, and I was like, well, hell yeah, I want to do this.
You
'Cause it's-
bet, Heather. That's a great idea.
Exactly. All right, girls. Well, I'm gonna let
Although I
both of
took a
y'all
little
go.
persuading. I wasn't 100%.
Well, that's why I had you call her. I said, call her, talk to her. All right. Well, you both have a great night, honey. I'll see you in a little while. And Mrs. Vesey,
Better bring it.
hopefully we'll see you guys in Galveston, hopefully.
You bet. Yeah, it was so great seeing you all. Thanks for the fun chat. I appreciate
Okay.
it.
Y'all have a good night.
All right. We'll talk to you soon.
All right. Bye-bye now. There you go. So that's the second week of females. So, like I said, I'm going to be reaching out to Curly's wife and a couple other ladies. I would like to talk to Mr. Dan Zubian's wife. Here's the thing. If you guys know young builders or painters, I would like to do a biker build off with the kids and do this and get the parents involved and everything. I think that would be awesome too. So anyway, reach out to me as usual, press the share button, and thank you very, very much for sticking around past the hour that we were on. Y'all have a great night.